How many people, you got to listen to the question very carefully, how many people have never been here at the New Reformed Temple in general, whatever building we have, on the high holidays? Raise your hand. We got, okay, welcome. It's lovely to have you here, as it is the people who have been our members for many, many years. You know, friends, I'm very honored to be able to speak with you this evening. This is my 12th high holiday. I came here as a bar mitzvah boy, and I did. And I thank the congregation for giving me the honor to have this pulpit and be able to speak to you and to stand in reverence with you before God. And, of course, I'm with Becky and Nathan, who have been here with me for 6 years, and we're still getting along. It's such an honor to be with them. Many of us have the experience every year. We sit in this soft lit room with some soft music coming through the speaker in the ceiling. And we begin to relax and anticipate what is about to happen. It's not some secret rendezvous or an opportunity for mindful meditation. It is our annual encounter with our optometrist or ophthalmologist. If we have nearsightedness, farsightedness, or an astigmatism, one of the next steps involves, and I'm so proud of myself that I know this word after a lot of research, involves a phoropter. How many people know what a phoropter is? Yeah. Unbelievable. Martha, you know it. So this is the instrument that is used to test individual corrective lenses on each eye during an examination. So we place our faces up to the device, and then the doctor flips the first lens and then another, while we say which of the two helps us see the letters on the eye chart more clearly. Lens 1 or 2, which one is better? Lens 1 or 2, which one is better? And carefully, we and the doctor discern what is best. It goes on for both eyes, and in the end, we have a prescription. I love this experience. I love it. It's fun to me. This shows you how boring my life is. But I love it. I love this experience. It's a game. It is also charged with meaning that transcends this small room where it is taking place. It's a metaphor for finding a way to see the world more clearly, having a better lens to experience our lives. The eye doctor's vision tests should make us wonder if we are looking at our lives through the correct lens. Is it possible to flip down a different lens and to see a better version of reality? Now, personally, I'm not altogether pleased with my lens. I see the world through the lens of worry. The causes of this mental state are complicated. It has to do with my family I grew up in and how they handled crisis. You never met my mother. It has to do with DNA and how I'm wired. It has to do with trauma, how frightening experiences have shaped my life, the state of the world that can worry any person, my feeling that I do not have control over life's events. Have you ever wondered how much time we spend worrying? You're gonna faint. Here was a survey done in the United Kingdom, and I'm assuming it's very similar to the United States. Each week, we spend 14 hours and 31 minutes worrying. That equals 744 hours of worry each year, which turns into 45,243 hours of worry over a lifetime. That equals 1,885 days in a lifetime spent doing nothing but worrying, which means that we spend 5.2 years of life captured by worry. 5.2. I would double it in my case, but okay, 5.2. Of course, this is a sliding scale. Some do more, some do less. And I know some people don't worry. I don't believe them. Regardless, it's a waste. For most people, it's not just one thing. It's many things wrapped up together. It's a job. It's school. It's money. It's work. It's health. It's bills to pay. Our husband, our wife, our partner, our ex-husband, our ex-wife, our boss, the tax collector, the in-laws, the kids, on and it goes. I'm sure you can add to that list. But living there all the time is self-defeating. It's not sustainable. It confuses us. And we cannot address the challenges of the world, of our own lives, thinking everything is a problem or it's going to fall apart. We need to balance the dark with the light, the negative with the positive, for our own well-being and sanity. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, one of the great teachers of our time, unfortunately, he died a year ago. In an essay he wrote concerning a recent Torah portion, he references an article entitled Positive Emotions in Early Life and Longevity, Findings from the Nun Study, N-U-N. Yes, in Rosh Hashanah, we are going to learn about our lives from Roman Catholic nuns. We couldn't be more ecumenical than that. Here's the thrust of the article. In the early 1990s, an incredible medical research project was done. It became known as the Nun Study. Some 700 American nuns, all members of the Sisters of Notre Dame, agreed to allow their records to be accessed by a research team investigating the process of aging and Alzheimer's disease. I mean, really interesting study. At the start of the study, the participants were aged between 75 and 102. What gave the study its unusual scope and precision was that 60 years earlier, these very same nuns were asked by their Mother Superior to write a brief autobiographical account of their life and their reasons for entering the convent. So far, so good. These documents were analyzed by the researchers using a special device coding process to register, among other things, positive and negative emotions. And by annually assessing the nuns' current state of health, the researchers were able to test whether their emotional states in 1930 had affected their health some 60 years later. So far, so good. Because they had all lived a very similar lifestyle during these 6 decades, they formed an ideal group for testing theories about the relationship between emotional attitudes and health. The result published were startling. The more positive emotions, such as contentment, gratitude, happiness, love, and hope, the nuns expressed in their autobiographical notes, the more likely they were to be alive and well 60 years later. The difference was as much as 7 years in life expectancy. 7 years. So remarkable was the finding that it has led to a whole new field called gratitude research, a way of deepening our understanding of the impact of emotions on physical health. The psychological lens through which these nuns saw the world determined the mental and physical well-being of their lives. Change your lens, change your life. This is not only psychologically true, but it's religiously true. Judaism, as you know, is built on this idea of mitzvot, these value actions. And there is a long list of mitzvot that is found in the Jewish tradition. Some people say there's 613 mitzvot. But there's one mitzvah, there is one commandment that we often ignore. It's called hakarat hatov. It means the recognition of the good. It's the nun's mitzvah. It is an obligation to see the world through the lens of appreciation, of thankfulness, of rejoicing, to focus on the good more than focusing in on the bad. Judaism is overwhelmed with this message. Let me give you several examples. We know the founding myth of the world, the first chapter of Genesis. And after every day of creation, except for the first, God says, this was good. The text is shouting, look around. My goodness, this is a miraculous world. God recognizes it, so should we. The traditional prayer book, you have to hold on to your seats for this one, okay? And I don't want you throwing anything at me when I get to the best example, okay? Don't say Rabbi Londi is going over the top or whatever. I need this example for this to make sense. So the traditional prayer book has specific places where there are prayers of appreciation. For example, praise are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, clothing the naked. A prayer of thankfulness for the fact that we have our basic needs met, not to take for granted that we have the resources to care for ourselves. There is the blessing, praised are you, our God, ruler of the universe, who is good and causes good. A prayer for good news. Saying a blessing for good news is a nice reminder to celebrate and embrace the positive, no matter how big or small. Rabbi Sarah Gelber wrote this new prayer when her child was about to be vaccinated for COVID-19. She was scared, and she wrote, Holy One of life and love, wrap me in a warm embrace as I prepare to receive my COVID-19 vaccine. I give thanks to the doctors and scientists who are creators like you, for the wise people who approved the vaccine, and for everyone who made sure that this was available to kids. Appreciation. Now, this is the one that I want to share with you the most. Let me read it to you, and then you tell me what it's about. Think. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, fashioning the human body in wisdom, creating openings, arteries, glands, and organs, marvelous in structure, intricate in design. Should but one of them fail to function by being blocked or opened, it would be impossible to survive and to serve you. Praised are you, Adonai, healer of all flesh, sustaining our bodies in wondrous ways. What's this prayer about? It's about going to the bathroom. Now you think I'm just making this up. So Joyce is, we trust Joyce, don't we? That's not a rounding endorsement. Look. It is right here. Right here. Top page. Traditional prayer book in the morning. I didn't make it up, and I'm not trying to be crude. It's a fact. Okay, now. Okay, that's what it says. Now, why is that significant? Because it's saying that our gastrointestinal, cardiovascular, genitourinary system works. That's really important to everyone, isn't it? The mundane is sacred. Ignoring it is tragic. Clean your lens. Notice. Be amazed. Now, friends, let's get down to business here. So, my message to us, my challenge is, let us clean our lenses on this new year of 5783. And if necessary, get new ones. I'm today your spiritual ophthalmologist and updating your prescription. Life is a miracle. The world is a gift. Our lives are extraordinary. Our families are a blessing. Our partners are our rocks. Our children and grandchildren are our hope. Our friends are sustaining. Our careers are life-defining. Our natural world is glorious. Our country is pretty good in spite of its warts. Our Judaism is a miracle beyond miracles. Our synagogue can be our home. Friends, we need to be mindful of how we see the world. We need to say continuously, thank you. Now you should be asking, where is the rabbi going with this? I'm going somewhere I think that's very appropriate. I am offering us a way to clean our lenses. Just talking about it isn't enough. And this opportunity will cost you about $6 or maybe $10 or maybe $1.50. I want us to keep a gratitude journal. I have 2 that I bought on Amazon. This cost me $6. I'm not selling it. 1-minute gratitude journal. You can buy it in a bookstore or stationery shop or go to a Target and buy a cheap notebook. You don't need to be super Jewish. You don't need to be super faithful. You don't need to be a super writer. There are many ways of doing this. At the end of each day, we could write it. I think most naturally and appropriate at the end of the week, maybe on a Friday afternoon, we would put something of gratitude into our journal. Now, here are some of the entries I've been thinking about. It did not rain today. It made me happy. I ate a great pizza. My child called me, and it was good to hear from her. I looked in my garden, and it looked so beautiful. I enjoyed that concert last night. I met a friend for coffee, and it was so pleasant to be with them. I'm pregnant. I've been trying for a very long time. How blessed I feel. They passed a bill in Congress that I really think is important. That very rarely happens. I'm really glad that the Chiefs won, although they didn't today, I heard. My partner was so loving to me today. I've gotten through another day without drinking. I went to the doctor for my 3-month checkup after ending treatment, and it was a good report. I spent an afternoon with my grandchildren. It is so good to be alive. I got a raise today, and I was not expecting it. Now, what do you think I wrote in mine? You don't know. It's serious. I saw a beautiful Airedale Terrier today. At that moment, I missed Ella so much. It's really sad. But I remembered her, and she puts a smile on my face. Didn't know that was going to happen. I am convinced it will be transformational for some of us. We'll train ourselves to see the world differently. Try it. It can't hurt anybody. I would love all of us to do it. And if you do it, share with me what the experience has done for you. And what have you discovered about your life that you didn't know before? We need this positive view of life enriching our lives and percolating through our community. Friends, this is my dream. Let us be a synagogue community where we have an attitude centered on appreciation. We need to name our blessings, to embrace them, to make ourselves aware of them. We all need this, not just because Judaism teaches this, which certainly should be enough, but we all need to have enough positive thoughts in us to confront the challenges of our stressful lives in our broken world. Shana Tova.